What's up, guys? Will and Chris back with another mostly weekly Beluga podcast where we waste our lives in the trenches and on crypto Twitter so that you don't have to. This has been, I mean, maybe the craziest week, I think, so far since the election week. I mean, maybe not for Bitcoin, of course, but we're seeing insane multiples on some of the largest altcoins. So without further ado, let's get some charts up on the screen.
Yeah, crazy. Here, let me see.
I think I think it's safe to say, first off, that it is alt season, but I do think the specific alts that have been moving are interesting. We see Bitcoin kind of stalling out here. Yeah, more or less as we thought. I mean, I don't know. I thought we would break 100K probably, and then
I thought so too, to be honest, and then dump. But we haven't gotten there, and it feels like, I mean, that's how it always goes, right? We have BTC go first, and then at some point it scatters out to the alts, and it just sounds. It feels like where we are right now. And so BTC, ETH's had a good run actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think ETH is still very much in catch-up mode, right? Like we had Solana break, I believe it broke a new price all-time high, right? Not just market cap.
I believe
Bitcoin
so.
Obviously broke through significantly. So until, we're close to 4,500, 4,800, I don't think I'm going to say ETH is on a nice pump. I think we're just in catch-up mode still.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, basically this happens every year, and it'll probably be the same as this one, where it's like, running into Thanksgiving, right? Things start to dump because people close their positions, people start to take a little profits, no one wants to manage positions while everyone's out, volume's thin, all that kind of stuff, right? So everyone closes shit out for the holidays, and then as we get closer to the end of the year, what everyone's going to do is we're going to pump again, right? Because everyone's going to come back and just try and do a last bit of, like, what are you going to do for the next 2-3 weeks? We're still going to fucking rip it, right? And then after that, we're going to send it up to, towards Christmas, and then same thing. As we get closer to Christmas, we'll dump again, right? People take profits, want to close out positions before the end of the year, and then literally the minute it turns into 2026, we're going to rip that upwards again. That's kind of my, what it seems like. In between, it seems like the rip, right, from now until December is not going to be BTC breaking all-time new highs, right? It's going to be catching up on alts and other things like that as people scramble to sort of exit and scam other people to get their Christmas money,
Yep.
So that seems to be what's going on now, which is, I think what we thought would happen anyway.
I mean,
so
I think a lot of the alts, I guess maybe TRON kind of doesn't fit this description, but most of the ones that I can think of that have been really going on insane runs have not really made new all-time highs. They may be up 400 or 500% in the last month, but they're still sitting down quite low relative to where they were last cycle. So I think these are kind of just getting started, to be honest.
Holy cow.
Yeah, the TRON candle was insane. I mean, if you zoom out, this chart is only up. I did not realize. I believe, I think BNB hit a new all-time high as well. Yeah. No,
I did see the BNB chart.
Yep.
Dude, holy shit. Not a TRON was this insane.
Yep.
That just makes me laugh, dude. That's just hilarious. Yeah. Good for them, dude. BNB had a good one. Let's just see the BNB chart real quick. Where's the perps? All right, whatever.
Who would have thought that BNB would hit all-time high without CZ at the helm?
Damn.
That's a nice looking chart.
That TRON chart is crazy, though. I'm like, holy cow, dude. I just have not seen that before. That was fucking nuts, dude.
No, I've never held TRON. I've never bridged to TRON.
Look at this chart,
Never paid attention. Yep.
That's a crazy looking chart, dude. That's like an incredibly horny looking chart.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. Holy shit. Sidelined again. And then, of course, we have XRP. Let's take
never fade his excellency.
No.
We should have learned.
Especially after a man buys a $6 million banana and eats it. Oh my God, what happened?
Yeah, crazy.
What the fuck?
So I have a buddy who has funneled every piece of profit, no matter how small or large, from like in real life and crypto trading for the last 3 years into buying XRP. and it's paid off. I thought he was retarded this whole time, and
turns out we're the retards.
Laughing now. Yep,
it's that meme where the guy closes the door in the mirror, and it turns out he's the idiot. He's the retard.
Exactly.
Holy cow, dude!
Crazy.
My friend works. He was at. I had a couple of friends that worked at XRP, and they could take I think it was up to 70% of their salary in XRP. And I think very, very few of them actually did for obvious reasons. But now it would have been a good time,
Yep.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
So yeah, it's just been nutty. I think there's a HSAKA tweet on this. Oh, let me see. Oh, Jesus Christ. It just kind of shows.
HSAKA's had some bangers recently. He's back.
He definitely has. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. I mean, so true though. Like who
it really is.
Who among like normal CT crypto traders, like who holds any of these?
Oh, bro. It's just hilarious. XLM, Algo, Hedera, fucking XRP, and ADA, dude. It's just a hilarious list.
I mean, these are all names that I didn't hear for probably months on end.
Yeah, I just
really
don't even know what
I'm sure there's a lesson in there somewhere, but just incredible. I mean, I think the really good news for the rest of our bags, the ones that crypto traders are actually holding, is that if none of us are holding those, that means that like not normal participants are, which hopefully that filters down to our bags, but we'll see.
Yep, that we will. But it's been crazy. I mean, a bunch of stuff has happened, like you said, since everyone's come back. And it was exactly what we thought, which is people go home for the holidays, shill the fuck out of tokens, right? And we would come back and rip things into it. The thing that I guess we didn't realize is the things people would buy are these, and not our bags. So that's the distinction here. But it's been a nutty time anyway. I mean, maybe we can talk a bit more about some of the alts and what's going on here. I mean, I feel like there's maybe 3 or 4 things to talk about. One is obviously, you said BTC stalling, alts catching up. Turns out these alts are like these like age-old dino coins. It's even hard to articulate what these things are. I don't even know how to buy any of these, to be honest, except on centralized exchanges. And then you have in the sort of like the area that we live in, right, which is more Sol base, ETH land, right? You have some of the shitters there that are ripping, and it seems like 2 things. And well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I think even the Beluga trading wallet is has a bunch of. So we'll pull that up in a second, but it feels like V1 DeFi coins getting some love, right? Curve, Aave, these types of things still going hard. And then even one level further down into the sort of like shitcoin land, you're having a rotation very strongly away from Sol right now, hard into base, with just like straight back into ETH land. So anyway, maybe real quick before we get into it, like what's your take on what's going on? How do you, is that what you're seeing as well? Or like, what do you think's going on there?
Yeah, that's actually more or less exactly what I wrote in the newsletter on Monday, which is that we've seen these. Sorry, let me back up a little bit. Meme coins specifically, but crypto in general is an attention market, right? So if something has more attention, it'll go up. You want to buy things that will probably have more attention in the future. Solana has had all the attention for meme coins, period. I mean, probably if we could pull up if I knew how to create a sentiment chart, I bet you that Solana meme coins have had 90+% of mind share for the last probably 6+ months.
Easily.
Hasn't even been close.
Yes.
And that's why we've seen, insane runs like Chill Guy from 0 to 500 million in a week. PNUT, 0 to 2.5 billion in a month.
Chill Guy's still running, right? Yeah.
It's still doing well. I don't know where the copyright claim thing went. Seems like he's not doing that anymore. But anyway, Solana has been benefiting because it's had all the attention. That's not the case anymore. It's for a couple of reasons. Obviously, Ethereum's been moving a little bit. Solana price is kind of stalled out. So that causes some price effects on coins on Solana. But I think the biggest thing probably has been the launch of virtuals on Base. So virtuals is this is like a very simplified version, but like pump fun for tokens tied to AI agents. It's virtual singular, the token.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. God damn it. I was like, where the hell is it?
Yeah, no, I don't know why it doesn't just show it. I've done the same thing. Yeah, so, I mean, you can see this chart is absolutely ridiculous. But virtual has completely reshaped this paradigm of AI meme coins that we've all been trading. They were all on Solana until everybody realized, wait, like, most of these teams we can't really trust, much the same way that actually I think Pump Fun changed the paradigm of how meme coins are launched. If it comes from a verified launchpad with like verifiable real LLMs behind it, you don't have this issue of like LARPs and fakes and stuff anymore. Yep. And so it really caught on pretty quickly. And it has a very, I'd like to commend them on their Ponzi-nomics. You can only buy Virtual's AI agent tokens with the virtual token itself. So there's this huge like reflexive growth, which you can see in the chart. As people start buying these agent tokens, you know, some of them are 100 million market cap plus now. All of that liquidity had to go into Virtual first. You know, people can set up other liquidity pools now and whatever, but the vast majority of the liquidity had to go into Virtual token first. So that's why you see that absolutely insane run up. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just mind share, right? Like everybody's talking about these AI agents that come from virtuals and they happen to be on base. So liquidity flows over to base. XRP was even, you know, everybody was talking about it and people started buying XRP meme coins. Like I honestly didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know they had meme coins.
I didn't either. I didn't even know they had DeFi. That was a thing, you know.
So, you know, Solana is just whatever percentage it's lost, it has lost some percentage of mind share. So of course the coins are going to feel that in their price. But it's been a very significant drop off.
Yes.
But look, I mean, if you were paying attention, like base inflows have been the highest of any chain for the last month and a half, I think. You know, it's not like this came from nowhere. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of attention shift away from Solana. Even myself, I mean, I was trading, I think I said on the podcast, I was trading meme coins like 12 plus hours a day. That was probably true. And that was all on Solana.
That was an underestimation.
It was an underestimate. And I'm spending almost no time on Solana right now. It's just not where the liquidity is anymore. And yeah, I don't know. I find it easier to trade real coins anyway. So I'm finding that a lot of these altcoins, like Curve, for example, I scaled into it, you know, 25 cents or whatever. It's at $1.20 right now. Like that's in a month, you know, those are meme coin style returns, but they're liquid and in size. So as long as that exists, I don't really think there's a reason to be trading meme coins.
Maybe talk a bit about the Beluga trading account, because I mean, I think it's gone really well for you.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just kind of give some context on it. I think we could probably put some more context on this page itself. I was thinking about that the other day. But just to give some background, we seeded this wallet with 100K back in April and literally timed the perfect top of the market. We were the top signal. And for months, the market was basically down only. If you guys who are watching were trading over the summer, you know, it was absolutely brutal. But the good news is that when things are dumping, it gives you a pretty good opportunity to scale into assets that you have conviction in. So for us, I was mostly focused, of course, you know, built a big position into Bitcoin and ETH as kind of like the backbone of the portfolio. Yep. But by far the biggest wins have been Curve and Phantom up at the top there. Curve has been a more recent one, which we can pull up the chart after this, but it's gone on like a 400 or 500% run over the last month. And we were able to buy it at the lowest price it has traded at in, you know, the 3 years it's been around. And that was just because, you know, it's nobody's paying attention to it. We had a sound thesis, which is that it's the largest stablecoin swap on the market by a very large margin. and price was just bleeding out because a collection of reasons. But the founder was liquidated for his own token share. You can see it on the there's a massive volume bar on the chart where it happened if you're curious. So, if that's not a bottom signal, what is?
Right
and they
here.
were still, there it is. It's the biggest volume bar on the entire chart.
I mean, if you just look at it right here, you can see tracks to the bottom. We kind of bounce around this place.
Yep.
And the minute we break out, fucking maniacally up only.
Yeah. So for me, this was a no-brainer trade, right? You have fundamentals backing why this thing should go up in the future. It's a stablecoin swap. Stablecoin supply hit all-time high. People are deploying different kinds of stables, which means they need to be swapped more, yada, yada, yada. And we had returned to the price where we were when the founder got liquidated, which was the black swan event for the token. So I think, look, if you can find multiples like that on highly liquid assets like Curve, why are you spending your time doing memes?
Yes.
So that's where I focused on for the Beluga wallet. Phantom was a roughly similar trade. Catalyst being that Phantom is launching this new chain Sonic. So we started scaling into this a while ago. But I think now I'm kind of waiting for the ETH ecosystem to catch up. Curve is part of that, honestly. But it's obviously way outperforming the rest. But I think ETH, our optimism, obviously lagging behind. I think I'm likely going to shave off some Curve around here. Maybe just put it back into ETH, honestly. I haven't fully decided. But I think...
what the fuck's going on here?
It was just because we got a free airdrop. I didn't know how to denote the total change,
I was like,
free.
what the hell? I think
it was free and we made money doing it. So I didn't know how to put it.
Okay, no, I was just curious. Got it.
Yeah. I think I'd like to scale it to more ETH ecosystem stuff. I think it's the one major you can buy right now that is not at an all-time high, and I think that's a pretty compelling
and sentiment is
thesis.
Pretty mixed,
Yeah,
and I feel like it's right on the mend. It's right on the mend where
shifting.
it could not have been worse. Maybe about a month ago now, right? And recently it's been like, you know what, this might be a thing, and it might be, and we might be overcorrecting.
Turns out all the issues people were saying were just fucking superficial. Who would have thought?
Once the price starts going, they're like, oh, it turns out the tech's pretty good, dude.
Every time, it doesn't matter what the token is.
Oh, it's just hilarious, dude.
I think
these are great. These are great calls, honestly. And and you've called it for a while, right? Back in the summer when you're buying Aave, buying Curve, buying some of these Dino DeFi coins, right? If we look at the chart now, right? Curve here looks fucking great. Aave's been just going absolutely nuclear too, honestly, right? Aave, just in performance, forget token price, just how it's actually been going. Deposits are at an all-time high, right? It's gone really well for them. I didn't realize Comp had gone so high too. Compound is just absolutely ripping too, right? GMX, this is something else, but maybe Lido, still okay. But let's see how Maker's doing. Okay, so really, we're talking about these three guys here. Uni's got to be doing okay. Uni's had a good little run,
I think Convex is doing pretty well too.
Got it. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, these Dino DeFi coins, they are for sure dinos, and people don't talk about them. They're not sexy, but they do some real revenue, and that's pretty meaningful.
CVX's revenue, CVX just like CRV beta.
Yep.
Very easy. And then 50% today. Jesus. Yeah. Kind of nutty.
But I mean, I think again, what I remember saying this actually when I talked about CRV over the summer, when we were still doing our shill of the days or whatever. My bread and butter trades, and I think they still very much exist even in this market where everything's been pumping, is old tokens where supply is distributed, chart licks bottomed, and you have some clear catalyst in the somewhat near future for why this thing might have more attention. And any of these tokens that get attention absolutely rip. I mean, it's exactly what we've seen happen.
Yep. This
it's
ARB
just
call is good.
It's so much. We got the bottom of ARB as well, which is nice.
Not bad.
I mean, ARB was trading at a silly valuation. I think there's still a lot of tokens in the ETH ecosystem that are trading at silly valuations. So that's why I'm looking there.
Not
I also
bad.
think we were talking about this before, but I really like Sonic Phantom ecosystem. The bridge for Sonic is supposed to go live in a couple days, I believe. So I'm definitely going to be trading. I'm already allocated there personally. We don't have anything outside of just Phantom tokens in the Beluga wallet, but I would love to get trading on chain once that starts. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I think also, I mean, we've been I haven't made a trade in, I don't know, 2 months or something. I've just kind of been sitting on our bags because I knew we were allocated well, so no reason to overthink it. Yep. Now that things have gone up so much, we have a little bit more room to play with. And I'm an on-chain trader. That's what I like doing. I don't really trade these big coins much. So look out for more frequent trades, I would say.
Totally. But I feel like that's the way to go, right? Which is when things are down bad, right? And this is the style that I think most people should be doing if they're going to get into it, right? Which is I feel like most people get onboarded straight into Chill Guy, straight into fucking, straight into Moodang, and like just straight into the fucking trenches, you know? Those are still better than some of the real shit, like the really fucking low cap shitters that you and I'll play. But like this feels more of how you should be doing it, which is like there's an idea behind it, you time it right, you go in with some size. It's not the exact, you don't have to fucking watch the chart every goddamn second, you know? You sit there, you scale in, you let it chill, right? And then you just wait, right? And even something as simple as none of these names are unknown, right? These are all very, very liquid big tokens. You're looking at ETH, BTC, right? CRV, ARB, OP, right? Aave, like these are huge tokens, right? And so you sit there, let it wait for 2 months, and you've doubled your money, right? In a very liquid environment, you could dump any time with no fucking impact. Like this is real, Hunter. Yep. You know, a lot of times, especially for the noobs that are coming to crypto, they go into the Phantom wallet, they see it says like 500 grand into like a 20K market cap shitcoin, you know, with like with absolutely no or maybe it's a big market cap shitcoin with no liquidity, right? Yep. And so the actual number is just bullshit, you know? Yep. And that's what most people don't really understand. And so having these types of things where you can, it's easier to maintain, easier to watch. You can actually get out if you want, right? Like these are the types of things I think most people should be getting into and be interacting
and you're still, with. I mean, look, 500% gains in a month is like insane, right? Like you don't need meme coins to generate those kinds of returns by any means.
Yep. Agreed.
Not in a market like this. Before, yes, I would think you did.
Yeah, there wasn't anywhere to go with my money.
So yeah.
Yep. But kind of nuts. Yeah, but I mean, it's a good time again, right? And I think, you know, right now it's a little bit late to get like super in position, you know, but you should be at least still buying stuff you like and like looking ahead and taking the same principles to get into it versus like just aping into these now, you know? But
I mean, like be patient, like find something you like, pick a good entry.
Just gotta believe in something, you know?
You don't have to snipe the bottom. Like, you know, these things are going up quite a bit. So don't worry about if you didn't catch the perfect bottom or whatever. And don't trade on leverage. That's my other advice.
Now, there's one thing that happened this week in token land that we cannot get away from. And we got to take a look.
Speaking of not trading on leverage.
Yeah, we'll go to the other side.
So this is the one area where maybe you should have traded on leverage. Chris, you wanna give some background?
Yeah, totally. So look, Hyperliquid. This is what this token is. It's a product that is an on-chain DEX, right? That is supposed to be. It used to be an Arbitrum orbit chain, right? So an L2 built on Arbitrum, and then they've evolved now to be their own L1, right? And they've customized the chain to be fit for this use case. And so it's very, very high performance, high throughput, right? It's very fast and should be like what you're trying to do is mimic the experience of a centralized exchange, right? But on chain, right? And if you look here, I mean, where is it? There's I forget where it is. Their block explorer kind of shows just like here it is. Yeah, I mean, it just shows the transaction just ripping through very quickly, right? Versus anything else, you know. Yeah. And that's the idea with it. Like, you can actually really trade here in the same way. Like, everyone knows, no matter how good DYDX or any of these things are, right? It's just not the same as trading on a SEX. If you really want to do leverage, right? And you really want to do perps, right? It's about speed. It's about, because it's just, you have to be fast. It has to be, you know, because these like little micro movements can really fucking liquidate you and cause a big pain, you know. And so that's been the idea. And they pivoted into the L1 not that long ago. And people have just been like, really, really hyped about the user experience, the product, and all these things. And more importantly, I think on the back of all of this year, these VC coins and the tokenomics for these things, these guys were different in the sense that they had they took no venture money. They took no investors. Everything was owned by the community, right? And the whole point of this was that it was like a community-owned product, and everyone's expecting it. Like, I feel like the buzz around Hyperliquid has been like really building for the last couple of weeks now, maybe a couple months max, and then somewhat recently, it was announced that the token would come out, right? The tokenomics came out, and relative to everybody else, I think it was 31% of the community instantly airdropped or something like that, right? Which is usually, I mean, look, you're usually doing like, we've seen 2% for scroll, I think, right on the low end, right? So
was it really 2%?
God, I cannot remember, to be honest, but I remember it was something along that lines. I remember it was less than the launch pool, and launch pool was 5. And so, scroll, you've been farming scroll for like 3 years, and just like nothing's going on, and you get airdrop 2% versus Hyperliquid. You're trading here and using this thing, and it's actually a good product, a good experience, right? It's no venture money, so they can actually take a bunch of tokenomics and take a bunch of tokens and give them to the users, and they airdrop this thing like not that long ago, right? I think it was Thursday or Friday last week. Will, do you remember?
Yeah. I think it was like Wednesday at midnight or something, my time.
Yep, something like that. And we just saw, I think they went out at about $3. Give or take, and it's a $3 billion in market cap, or at least FDV, excuse me, and then it's just been relentlessly going upwards, ever since then. And it's everyone getting in position now, right? And because there hasn't been a way to get allocation to the tokens, and so if you've been trading, you've been able to get tokens, but otherwise, a bunch of funds, a bunch of liquid funds, a bunch of like bigger bags, investors, institutional folks haven't been able to. So people have been desperately trying to buy Hyperliquid and using Arbitrum's bridge to get there, right? And through there, they've just drained all of the USDC and drained all the money to go get there. And so, I don't know, it's just been an insane sort of contrast between this and 99% of crypto projects. Most crypto projects, tons of VC money, right? You look at TIA as the perfect example, right? I think there was the tweet about Polychain having made $100 million off TIA rewards without having sold any of their TIA, $20 million TIA investment, and so that's like a big part of the story. And a lot of people, and like you look at Scroll, you look at Blast, you look at ZRO, a bunch of stuff that has come out just has not gone super well because of this like insider hangover. And this is the complete opposite. It's not only has no insider hangover, but huge community airdrop, and more than that, it's a product that everyone actually uses. Like if you're in this market, right? And arguably the exchange is the best product in crypto, right? Like that's if you look at all the best products, you have Binance, you've got Coinbase, the place where you can do the exchange is where the most money is being made. And like to have this be done this way, also completely on chain, completely decentralized, asterisk. Asterisk. We can talk about that in a second. But relatively speaking, a clearer path to decentralization. Like it just has all of crypto going fucking ape shit, and everyone going nuts about how great Jeff is and how great this whole thing has been. I think there's a ton to learn from it. I think it's also at the same time, it's one of the things there's like a lot to learn, but also not that much to learn. It's one of those things like, sure, it turns out great product like matters. I think we knew that already, and like it turns out if you don't raise venture money, you can fund the whole thing by yourself. Then you can give all the tokens away, but also not a thing for 99% of founders. And so I found it hard to sort of extrapolate these lessons to something useful outside of the fact that like clearly this was done well. And if you can pull this off, you should absolutely do it, but still just shout out to them. I think it was like, very it was different than everything else, and it's not easy to pull it off, and I think it's just like absolutely incredible to have done this. So I don't know, Will, what was your take?
You make a good point about like their unique situation, because the whole thing was just planned so well to be able to do this. I saw Barachain is one of the big, obviously highly anticipated token launches, maybe in Q1 finally. But I saw Smokey, who's the founder, tweeting like, wallahi, I'm cooked. Because like he knows he's not going to be able to do 30% to an airdrop. It's just not possible. And so I think like if you are a project that's kind of bootstrapped, I know there's plenty of them out there that haven't raised these massive rounds, and you have a product that people are using. I think actually Pump Fun is a great example of one of these.
Totally. You're right.
As far as I know, they haven't raised anything. And they are almost certainly doing a token, probably in the next couple months here. So they are somebody who could do something like that because there's no, outstanding obligations for token supply other than to the team. And not to mention the revenue that Pump Fun has done is pretty ridiculous. I'd expect that token airdrop to be massive.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I think airdrop farming season is kind of back. I do think, though, like, people are just more cognizant of how much supply is allocated to these now. Like, it's a more sophisticated base that's farming these things. So, you don't have the people who are just like, oh, hopefully, we'll make all this money. It's people who know how much money they're going to make.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't think you can get away with a shitty campaign still.
No.
But if you have a compelling one, I would definitely expect people to ape into it.
And it's just nuts looking at this this market share shit, Yeah. This is DOIDX. Look at how absolutely brutal that is, just going from basically 100% of the market to, it's hard to even see what that is now, And Hyperliquid on the other side, going from small to big, and now Hyperliquid's a big part of this chart,
Yep.
So just insane stuff, and good on them. Again, I think it's, like you said, it's a more sophisticated base farming these things, so you have to be prepared for that.
Well, especially for, a leverage platform like this. Like, people are running delta neutral farming strategies. Like, this is not just, your average trader hopping into this platform.
Totally. But people are making 6 figs, 7 figs on this, getting airdrop like real money into some thick liquidity.
I know 5 people off the top of my head who got 8 figures from this airdrop.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking insane.
Crazy.
Right? Because I think they went out, $3 billion, right? Yeah. And airdrop 30%. So that's $1 billion, give or take a little bit under $1 billion that you're airdropping to the community. Is that right? That's just insane,
And it's so, now, 4 billion or whatever.
Exactly. Right. And so I think it's one of the best examples of how crypto can be done right, So shout out to Hyperliquid, but it's just like one of the, I think, it both affects a lot of people, but also affects not that many people. But at least it's a big story. It's a big moment in time. Will it last? Does it matter? We'll find out. But at least for now, it's at least just a point in time. Something interesting to note. But another good example. If you like something in crypto, you should just use it. Because there's a good chance if it rips. The thing that was interesting about Hyperliquid is there's a long period of time where it was nothing. And I forget exactly what it was. There's a couple tweets talking about it. If you had just done 2 trades, right, totaling about $100 in volume in a certain period of time, those tokens a day would be worth over $100,000. Right. Yeah. And it's the beginning period of time when there's nothing. But if you just look at this Hyperliquid chart here, it's not until Jan 24 when it starts to really grow. So anytime before that, you're using Hyperliquid, right? That's when you're getting incentivized, right? And that's how this stuff works. That's the sort of when crypto's done right, you use these products. Hopefully they're good, but you bear with them. And then as using them, you're contributing to the community. You're building the product with them. You're going to get exposure to the token. You're going to get rewarded handsome for it. But you have to. It has to be the right product. It's like anything, right? It has to be the right product, the right team, the right sort of environment, all these things. But when it's done right, it's a really beautiful thing. A lot of people sort of a lot of trench warriors are able to actually, get out of it and do something and actually change their lives this way. So, just awesome to see. Unfortunately, not me and Will. That's why we're still here on this podcast. But
I was going to say, I would not be recording this if I was included in that 8-figure group.
Yeah, dude, the background would be quite different. I do one of those Zoom backgrounds you can't see because I'm actually on a boat in Saint-Tropez. But that's what this is. So anyway, very cool stuff. And let's see, what else do we have here? Maybe last thing coming off of it, at least from my side, Will, is just, we've seen a whole inflow of listings recently from COINBASE. And just worth kind of mentioning it really quickly because it just kind of signals where we are in the cycle, how things are going and all that kind of stuff. And it's just been funny to see. COINBASE is listing just a slew of shitcoins for what it's worth. You've got MOG here that got listed today. For those who don't know MOG, it's just Google MOG and you'll figure it out, But MOG has been out for a while. Movement got called out today as well, so shout out to Movement. And then, of course, Mudang was one that got kicked off a little bit ago as well. And you saw here, let's see, Mudang. Is this it? Yeah, I mean, you can just take a look at this chart here. This is the moment it got listed, this entire candle. And so, all-time highs just bleed out into oblivion and pain. Coinbase listing right back up, But it's not like a huge token. There's not a ton. I mean, it's a decent amount of liquidity, to be honest. But like, of all the things to do, it is. It's just kind of strange for me to see Mudang as the first one. But there you go. You've got MOG here. Damn, MOG has some serious liquidity. I didn't realize, honestly.
Damn, you haven't looked at MOG in a while, huh?
Seriously? Oh my god, dude.
I hate when I find a chart like this because I know that I fumbled generational wealth. Or like when you find your lines like way down there on the bottom left or something. It's the worst.
Oh, dude, that sucks, bro. That is absolute pain. But,
that's awesome.
Oh man, holy cow, dude. But yeah, MOG has been mogging. Holy shit, dude! I've not stayed up to date with this.
I mean, it deserves it, honestly. Like, I'd say MOG is probably my favorite ETH meme coin. I don't hold any, so it's not biased. But I like MOG.
Wow.
My friends say it all the time. I was playing Xbox with one of my buddies last night, and he was like, I just mogged that guy. I was like, oh, damn. Did you see they got listed on Coinbase?
And the glasses and everything, too. Like, it's just, they've done a good job with it. But it is to kind of show where Coinbase is going, right? They're like, one, they're being more aggressive recently with this stuff, which is great. Two, they're doing more consumer-y things, and they're getting into shitters as well, right? So cool to see. And like signals, we've seen Coinbase is always a good sign like where retail is, and so it does show that we're coming back, because it feels like even with all the excitement, it was mostly us. It wasn't quite like heavy new inflows yet. Outside of the Insto stuff, that was beginning to take shape. But like retail coming back, it didn't feel like it, but now it feels like we're getting back here, and so
I know that I hold Coinbase stock, so I follow their financials a little bit, and I know that retail volumes were hugely down this year compared to last bull run, which is interesting. Institutional volumes I think were higher, the retail volume was way lower, and I can speak for I manage a wallet for a fund, and we hold our crypto on Coinbase for security purposes. And there's all these coins that I would love to deploy into that I literally can't because they're not on Coinbase. And this is stuff like Curve, for example. I wanted to buy Curve. It's not on Coinbase. No, what? Phantom is also not on Coinbase. So
Phantom, I can see a little bit more, but Curve sounds ridiculous to me.
So like, yes, they are, listing some of these new meme coins, but there are so many big altcoins that they still don't have that just make it really difficult. I've literally been looking at switching to Gemini because of it. I think they really need to pick up their listing department. It's just
we need Balaji back. Balaji was all about litting every shitter on the planet. So we need Balaji back at CB. Man, crazy. Okay, I did not know that.
Feels like they're fumbling the bag there a little bit. But
seriously. Seriously, and Coinbase Prime, I use Coinbase Prime too for our institutional stuff. It's fucking terrible, dude. Yeah. It's one of the worst things out there.
We use it for the Beluga trading wallet too. That's why I mean most of our Beluga funds I just hold on chain because I can't trade them on Coinbase. And these are like big altcoins, right?
Yeah, like these aren't shitters. We're talking about Curve and Aave. These are real tokens,
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Okay,
it is what it is. I mean, I'm a self custody on chain guy anyway, so whatever. But it's just odd to me. I feel like they have to have institutional demand for these assets right now. So
that's what I don't understand. And even simple things like I was using Coinbase Prime and simple things. You're holding a bunch of staples in there. Everywhere else in the world, I can get 5% rewards on it. And for some reason, I think with Coinbase Prime, unless you have $2 million in there or more, you can't get anything. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude? And it's not like we have nothing. It's not like we have it's not like we have like $10 in there either. We have some real money in there, and I can't do shit with it. It's just ridiculous. So Anyway, yeah, I think they're fucking it up a lot, there. But they've always been like that, to be honest. Coinbase is like, despite their like sort of like user base, their product has always been so, and they just like fucking rip their users all the time on these fucking ridiculous trading fees. They don't have any of the pairs you should have. The institutional product sucks ass. So I don't know. Like I think they're overall, like, they've done incredible things for crypto, and I'm not knocking them one bit. And I'm sure there's a tremendous amount of red tape to actually get things going. Yeah. So I'm, and like just building things is hard. And so not that, but just saying point in time right now compared to some of the on-chain stuff, you're just like, what the hell is going on here? But it just kind of shows the gap. And like, I think with the new administration and with things coming in, Coinbase has been executing like a monster last year too. So not even to knock them, right? The base stuff has been incredible. Just like some of the products they're shipping are incredible too. And so
I think their on-chain wallet is supposed to be pretty damn good too. So I think they've been doing good work on the on-chain side, and you can buy any token with that. So
right. So maybe that's where it's been. They've just been mostly working on the on-chain, because I would say they've made an incredible. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
It's not the same. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm a huge Coinbase fan. Still my number one exchange. I don't know. It's just it's odd to me that you would. Like, I wasn't complaining before, because I understand that, they're a public company. They're very tightly regulated. It's not easy to list assets. But if you're going to list meme coins, especially like the ones that they just did that have been around for like not very long, like, come on, man, just list the actual tokens too.
If you're doing Mudang, you got to do Curve. I think it's as simple as that.
Exactly.
It's one or the other, bro. So anyway, doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, I'm sure it's harder than it looks. No. But yeah, cool. Anything else?
I think that's it for me.
Okay, nutty. Well, another crazy week in crypto. It feels like things are back. I feel like right now is a good time to be very dialed in for a little bit and get yourself ready for everything. And then 2025, I think it's going to be a blow-off top year, And so that's why right now, be prepared and stay rested and keep your eyes open and start getting into things as you want to, as things start to dip or you have opportunities. But it's about to be a nutty year.
Yep. There's a lot of opportunity in the market. Just stay patient and pick your spots well.
Yep. Easier said than done. But
yeah, of course.
Just follow the Beluga trading wallet. Simple as that. So, all right. Cool. All right. Take it easy. Catch you guys next week.